Lions and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
First quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
That's it. So get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, you got 3.
Here's Newton. And his throw is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Watch 16.
The shotgun snap for Newton. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. The first carry now. This is Johnson. They find some open field here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Hey, high 7. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mike, hey, blue 60. Get the ball. Hurry up, get set. Slow. No. Mike, 10. Mike, 54. Hey. Man, I got you. Check three. Joker. What happened?
The first down carry here for Johnson. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Middle. Pressure. 22 jet bomber. Tight go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this down to the 10. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
40 got. Easy alert. Crunch. Kill.
To Johnson again. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here I come again. Rerun. 22. You got tight right there.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now, if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
Let's go, team. Big C.
Now Newton on first down. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Newton. And that's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. And the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
He's got this one complete to Sherfield. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And able to work his way down to the 16. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. This will be the 8th play of the drive here, 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Newton. He may try and run for this. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Again, McCaffrey. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually completed but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
25, check 25, check 25. Alert! Check 61, matchbox, lights. Begin. Check 26, check 26.
On second down now, Anthony. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Stafford down to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 25-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
I don't even know why this team showed up from Omaha. Ready to move. 59. Smooth.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. Their depth. Deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Newton, meanwhile, here connecting with McCaffrey. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
They'll try and run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Newton. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing again is Newton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Again, Newton. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And McManus able to put it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Carter, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Here's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
11. Mike 5-4, Mike 5. Come on, ready to move. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
On first down, it's Stafford. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
70. 21. 54. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Now Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Johnson running right. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down.
I got one. Rerun. Hey, Wood.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 2nd and 5 now. Newton, he gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. McCaffrey following the penalty. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Focus, defense. 21. 3. Easy, alert.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack, because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
Mike, you set. Red 80. Mike 5-4. Yep. Watch the twist, watch the twist. Taxi. Hey, 22. Hey, 50. Hey, Charlie. Hey, hot.
On first down, Stafford here. Flushed out right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Let's go, baby.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on second down. Stafford, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Right there. 54. Right there.
Throwing again. Stafford. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, as one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
At the 26-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Able to find Shaheen here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Newton, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. This will be taken at the 10. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
They'll run on 1st down. Anthony. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think
and the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Lions. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check it out.
On second and 11 now. Stafford, this will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now it's Stafford. And he's got it. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Johnson kept out of the end zone on fourth down, and the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. From his goal line here, Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Panthers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. 8 yards there, getting him out of danger. It's a first down. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Come on, the ball.
From the gun, Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Adam Shaheen was the intended target, but it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton, open man is Samuel, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but Let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Back to throw, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They give to Johnson going right. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. Anthony looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. He's got it complete to Perkins. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On first down, it's Johnson. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll go to Pirine, try to pound it in. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Lions, that early momentum continues.